Hello everyone, YouTube land, it is your boy Tigla Beagle back again with another rant style video, but this time I want to talk about a game that was recently announced that has really caught my attention because of how interesting it looks, and it's called Zoochosis. The basic gist is that you are a zookeeper, and basically there's some sort of parasite or alien, I'm not sure yet, infecting the animals and turning them into horrific creatures. Like, for example, in the trailer, it shows a goddamn spider giraffe and, like, a kangaroo with its stomach split open to reveal a mouth, and basically you're a night zookeeper that has to try and take care of these animals and try and save them. And I think it's really interesting, and I'd like to go over reasons, like, why I think this is really cool, as well as like some complaints I have about it, which the first thing I'm going to bring up is a bit of a complaint, and that's the fact that the camera looks utterly sickening. You can see it on screen right now because I'm playing the trailer footage just repeated, but basically, it looks like a fisheye lens camera, and I really hope this isn't what the actual game camera looks like, because God, this looks horrendous. It looks sickening. It looks like it would be terrible to move around. And even in the few times it does move around, it does cause me to, like, whip my head back a little, because I'm like, whoa, what the fuck? Maybe it's just me, because I'm a little stoopy and a little special, but it's just my sensory visor, my fucking eyes. God, Tegan, you're an idiot. But my eyes just really did not like the look of that. On the topic of looks, though, the graphics do look fucking great. Like, it's not photorealistic, but it reminds me of Armored Core in the graphics in a way, and the fact that it doesn't have to be photorealistic. It's just stylized enough to look good, while not looking cartoony, so it can still be scary. And I'm not saying cartoons can't be scary, I'm just saying it's a lot harder to make, like, a cartoony style scary. Like, the Dead Space movie is one of the few examples of it actually working. I also want to talk about the word zoochosis. When I searched up the game to get the trailer again, I saw a lot of videos talking about zoochosis, so I kind of want to talk about the definition of zoochosis. It's a real word. This is based on a real word, and I'm sorry if you hear my my thing clicking away here. I'm just pulling up the definition as we speak. I know I probably should have, if I could figure that out. So zoochosis definition, yep, right here. Zoochosis is a mental disorder that manifests in abnormal and often unhealthy physical behaviors. This like definition is commonly used to describe animals in captivity. It's like combining the word zoo and psychosis. And it indicates the negative impact on the captivity of mentally well animals. So, like, for example, zoochosis could be stuff like a gorilla in captivity starts trying to break through the glass and starts acting very erratic. That could be an example of zoochosis. And from what I am seeing from that, this is actually a really interesting definition. It's a really cool word that I've never heard before, so you know what? Game helped me learn something. I'm not sure how that applies to the story, though. Mayhaps, like, the whole point is you're trying to figure... Because at first, maybe, in the game, there's, like, a mission at the start where it's, like, figure out what's wrong with the animal, zoochosis, or something like that, and people start saying it's zoochosis, and it eventually gets revealed it's really an alien. Granted, we know that it's already a parasite right now, so that reveal is not going to be actually good for... actually good for us. But it's still a cool little definition, so I appreciate it at least. And hold on, I'm sorry if you hear fans. My computer is... Yeah, my computer is really not happy right now for some reason. I'm not sure why. I'm going to try and close a couple windows here. It's been having problems. Yeah, hopefully it doesn't crash, because I really don't want to have to redo any recordings here, even though I'm only recording for 5 minutes, but you get the idea. What I do want to talk about as well is, in the trailer here, is the designs of these animals, specifically, the giraffe when it turns into a spider. This thing looks fucking horrifying, and I mean that in the best way. it's got like it's got more legs. It looks like its chest has been ripped open almost to make room for those legs. It's part of its neck has been split open to give it a bigger mouth. It's grown more teeth, and they're facing outward and forward, which is just a great way to make something more terrifying. And I really do want to know, like, how the parasite... I want in the game there to be an explanation why the parasite would infect animals and turn them into these monsters. I'm thinking maybe the parasite feels threatened, because in the trailer we see it come out of meat that you just shredded up. Like, I think it was a person that you literally shred into giant meat chunks, and then you take those meat chunks, and one of them has a parasite in it. I think it feels threatened, almost. That, or it's sort of like The Thing, from the movie The Thing, of course, which this definitely takes a lot of inspiration from. Most Parasite movies or Parasite games take a lot of inspiration from The Thing. It's basically a movie about this creature that can shapeshift into anything and take control of people's dead bodies, basically. And there's like a whole thing where all it wants to do is sleep and rest in the ice, so it's trying to kill all the humans that are trying to study it or kill it or anything like that, because all it wants to do is rest. So, yeah, I think this has a lot of similarities to that. It could be that. I personally think it's the "it feels threatened" theory. If it does turn out to be just, an evil parasite that we don't get an explanation for, I would be quite upset, but you can always draw conclusions, I suppose. It's still, like, a little, it'd still be a little annoying not to get an explanation, but I next want to talk about, like, what I think the gameplay will be like. The gameplay itself, we see two specific things being used. First of all, there is some sort of infrared camera that's used near the start of the trailer, about 8 seconds in. We see them use the camera, and it ends up seeing the giraffe in a much, like, hotter, redder light than the other giraffe, because that giraffe is infected, as we see it shortly after turn into spider giraffe, right there. Yeah, spider giraffe. So, with the fact that it turns into spider giraffe, we then see the next tool that will be used, which I'm not sure what to call it. It looks to be some sort of radar. Like, think about Alien Isolation and how there was a radar that allowed you to see the alien. This is kind of like that, but it just allows you to detect when parasites or the parasited animals, the infected animals, are near. That's what it definitely implies. With that, I can't really see much else in the gameplay. About 32 seconds in, we get a phone guy section, which it, like, has some, in my opinion, pretty bad voice acting there. It's a little annoying, but it is just like the announcement trailer. They've got plenty of time to figure this all out. Remember, games usually come out way, way after their announcement trailers, usually, so I'm not too worried about it. But it's still a valid criticism. It doesn't appear that our protagonist does talk or have a personality, which is very interesting. We also, like, there is another tool that I just forgot to mention until now. About 49 seconds in, we see some sort of light that we carry around that has an infrared light. I wonder if that, like, the fact that, not infrared light, like a violet light. I know violet light is often, like, used in ways in films. I forget what it is. Like, sometimes it's like the UV rays or whatever, like, burn things or something like that. It's probably just a normal flashlight. I'm reading far too into it, as I tend to do in a lot of things. But, yeah, that's just my thoughts on it. As well as, like, yeah, if we go to about 54 seconds in, we shred up this body that's wriggling and writhing, and then a parasite, which, great design in the parasite, by the way, springs out of a meat chunk and just runs away. And then, of course, we see the mutated kangaroo, which, I'm linking this back into the gameplay because if this is, true, if this cinematic here is true of the gameplay, I don't know if it is, I doubt it is, but if it is, this means that the animals could have an interactive AI to where if they have the parasite, they'll start acting differently maybe trying to get up closer to you or trying to seclude you away so that they can kill you, because it's definitely a smart parasite. I think that would be really cool. With, like, if the animals do have interesting AI that reacts to your behavior, that would make this game, like, one of the best horror games in terms of, like, its enemies in that way. Also, I think the kangaroo design is good, like the mutated kangaroo design, but it's my least favorite here. Because it doesn't feel, like, mutated enough. The giraffe, it looked like a completely different creature, where the kangaroo, you could still tell it was a kangaroo. I mean, it definitely has different features like claws, a mouth on the stomach, and like a longer tongue. But still, you could tell this was a kangaroo. The others, it'd be hard for you to tell it was that. But at a glance, you could kind of figure out this was a kangaroo. I mean, no, probably not. I may have been jumping the gun there. The more I look at it, the more I, like, realize that's kind of stupid. Oh, also, at the very last couple bits of the trailer, we see Zoochosis, wishlist now on Steam, like, poster thing. It allows us to get a better look at the giraffe model, which looks fucking stunning. Oh, it's beautiful. But also, it appears as if there's some sort of, like, claw or spike stabbing into the giraffe, so it makes me think we might, like, have a pitchfork of some sort to use as a weapon as well, so that could be interesting. Again, I'm just popping things off the top of my head as I realize them. We could pet the giraffe in the trailer, so if we can't pet the giraffe in the game, 0 out of 10. I want to be able to pet the goddamn giraffe. I am kind of worried about the infrared camera, if I'm being honest. They're going to have to balance this thing well, because it could just instantly tell you who has the parasite. So maybe they make batteries for it limited, or maybe they make it so that you have to move it around and it's heavy, so it's difficult to move around, so it becomes less efficient to do so. So you just end up having to use the reader. However, the parasite, if they do have advanced AI on the animals, will probably stay around other animals, so it doesn't give you a guarantee. And also, for the gameplay loop, where you have to, like, probably discover the parasite, that's what I'm thinking it is going to be, at least. Like, trying to discover the parasite in these animals. That's based on how it looks in the trailer. Is it going to be a thing where you have to, like, at the end of the night, pick which animal, or, like, throughout the night you have to pick which animal you believe is infected, and then you have to, like, kill it or something? Or you have to bring it into a separate confinement cell of some sort? And also, I have to ask, story-wise, why does it just infect the player? I mean, it clearly sees it as a problem. If the kangaroo infected one is literally willing to run away from it and seclude it away to kill it, it clearly sees it as some sort of problem, right? It doesn't appear to be an ambush predator. I mean, it actively just transforms right in front of other animals in the giraffe body, so clearly it doesn't care about being seen by the other animals. That just doesn't make sense, right? So maybe it can only affect animals, or, like, human anatomy is too advanced or something like that. Or mayhaps it just thinks that the animals are more cognitive to its own anatomy, easier infected. Maybe it can only infect, like, lower intelligence creatures. That will make a lot of sense. Again, these need to be explained in the game, in an audio log, or perhaps in a cutscene. Which, like I've said earlier, I am a little concerned about the voice acting due to the only voice acting we got from this phone guy character not being great, to say the least. I really did not like it. But overall, besides, like, the camera and my concerns for the story and voice acting, this looks like a very promising, unique horror game. I mean, we haven't seen a game where you fight a mutating parasite creature in a while, at least as far as I can remember. And this looks like a unique take, because normally they're mutating into humans, like in Among Us or The Thing. They're tricking you. It's a game about, like, trickery and, like, trying to deceive you, right? But in this case, it's still tricking and deceiving you, but this time it's in the animals, which kind of makes it more deadly, because a human can kill a human easy. A human can't kill an animal quite as easy, at least unless you have, like, a gun, but still, it's harder to kill an animal than it is to kill a human. At least by human standards. For other animals, it's harder to kill a human than to kill an animal. You get what I'm saying? Yeah, overall, I really like this idea. I really like this trailer. I think it was great. One of the only things I've watched from IGN that's made me fucking smile. So you know what? You get a plus for that. But anyways, guys, that's gonna be all from me. I do hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe if you want to see more of this. And let me know if you like this type of content. I'll try and make more. I'll see you later.